The irony I think in all of this is that due to the distortion of John chapter 1 verse 5, he's actually calling the unfertilized egg evil and the darkness.
Oh, I don't think he really intended that, but that is very awkward. Welcome to Rational Disbelief. I'm Kat.
And I'm Joe. Today, we're going to be looking at a TikTok video that uses the Gospel of John as proof that life begins at conception.
I'm very interested to see what they have to say.
This is amazing.
In 2016, scientists at Northwestern University captured something remarkable at the moment of conception, and is what they found predicted in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 4. In him, Jesus, was life, and that life was the light of men. Verse 9, that was the true light which lighteth every man who cometh into the world.
These verses don't appear to be referring to light in the context of life, right?
Well, let's look at verses 1 through 5 together for the actual context. He's using King James, but we'll use New King James since that's a bit easier to read. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So, in looking at the verses that are around the verses that he mentioned, it's actually talking about the Word, which is referring to Jesus being life. And the life was the light of men. The life he is bringing is spiritual life or eternal life through belief in him. Verses 6 through 9 continues to confirm that the passage is talking about belief in Jesus when it talks about how John the Baptist was sent to bear witness to the light, the true light, meaning Jesus, that all through him might believe. So, no, it's definitely not talking about light in the context of life in the way that the maker of the video is describing, but instead it's talking about light being life in the context of spiritual life to those that believe in Jesus.
Got it. So this simply isn't a prediction as was claimed at the beginning of the video then. Let's see how this gets justified.
Okay, so if at the moment of conception, when life begins, scientists proved that there was a flash of light, would this be the true light that John talked about?
No, not at all. As mentioned, the verses that were highlighted from John are saying that the true light refers to Jesus, and that light is salvation and belief in the true light. See, this argument appears to stem from a little thing we call confirmation bias. This happens when you look for ways to justify your existing beliefs. The claim here is that because there was a flash of light at the moment of conception, this surely must be the true light the Bible is referring to, which simply isn't the case.
Also, there's no naturally occurring flash of light, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Verse 5, and the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. How could it? It's not alive. Light is life.
Wait, remember, we already established that light doesn't mean life in the context of John chapter 1.
So at the moment of conception, life begins, and this light is the true light, which lighteth every man that comes into the world.
This is basically a rehashing of what's already been said and implied in the video. For reasons we've already mentioned, this assessment is wrong. Perhaps this is an attempt at using the framing effect bias to persuade, but it's always hard to gauge intent. However, one thing we can agree on is that light, as used in John, is really referring to salvation and belief in Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty common to hear salvation being referred to as the light in the Bible and honestly in Christianity in general. For example, John 8:12. Then spoke Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Psalm 27 1a. The Lord is my light and my salvation.
Ephesians 5:8 through 9. For you were once darkness, but now you are a light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth.
2 Corinthians 4 6. For God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ.
And there's also that song that I learned in children's church. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
The irony I think in all of this is that due to the distortion of John chapter 1 verse 5, he's actually calling the unfertilized egg evil and the darkness.
Oh, I don't think he really intended that, but that is very awkward. Having gone over the Bible verses that he talked about, though, let's go back to the study that he only briefly mentioned. You may be wondering what the study he was talking about is and what it claims. So let's go look at the actual study that was referenced at the very beginning of the video. The title of the study reads: The zinc spark is an inorganic signature of human egg activation. This study was done by a team of researchers from Northwestern University, which is a private research and teaching university.
Upon reading through the study, the reason we see this spark is due to a chemical compound that was introduced to the egg during fertilization. This binds to zinc that is released naturally and allows it to be fluorescent when you use specific equipment. The problem here is that this does not occur naturally at all. While zinc is still released, there is no visible spark as demonstrated in this study.
So basically, this entire video was pointless.
Son of a.
Thanks so much for watching. As we're a newer channel, we'd love it if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel to help us grow. Also, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at Rational Disbelief.
You can also let us know what you thought of this video in the comments section below. While you're down there, feel free to leave any suggestions for future topics that we can explore in our journey of rational disbelief.